Hey guys, welcome back to another Swiss 001 video. And today, we're back in X-Plane, finally. Today, we have the Ilyushin Il-76. Ilyushin Il-76, which is quite an interesting plane. And this plane is known as the most dangerous airplane in the world. And yeah, I'm also going to talk about why that might be the case and why this is pretty much a very dangerous plane. Now, maybe let's start off with how you evaluate the safety of a plane and whether it's safe or not. I've actually looked up several websites, and some actually say that the 737 might be the most dangerous aircraft, especially the MAX model. Also, a lot of websites say that the Concorde is the most dangerous airliner because generally the safety or unsafety is measured by crashes or incidents or fatal incidents per hour of flight. And obviously planes that do not have many flight hours are more likely to get into those lists. Like the Concorde, there was only like one Concorde incident, but there were not many flights of the Concorde, and that's why it kind of counts as the most dangerous aircraft, even though it's obviously not dangerous. It was even a DC-10 which was causing the crash after all, but that's a whole nother topic. Now, same with the 737 MAX, obviously. You know, when those crashes started happening, the plane had not been out for long. I don't know if you can actually say that the 737 MAX is really dangerous. But today, we got something else. This is the Ilyushin Il-76, and it's most probably on every list of dangerous airliners, or generally dangerous planes, obviously. Now, Ilyushin is obviously a Russian company, which is why this plane is obviously a Russian plane. This was introduced in 1974, which was 3 years after its first flight in 1971, and it's actually still in production. You can still buy one if you have several $1 million, and it's also in service. Now, obviously, this is not a passenger airliner fancy seating thing. This is actually only a military aircraft, or at least it's intended to be used for military purposes. For example, most of the carriers using this plane were Soviet military, like the Russian Air Force and the Ukrainian Air Force and Indian Air Force, even though India was not really Soviet, but you know, actually even the US has used them in the past and still uses them as far as I know, at least for, you know, fire purposes things, you know, those. You know what, let's just take off first. Right now we are at Edwards Air Force Base, which is quite a nice Air Force base. So this is the cockpit. This is a typical Russian cockpit. All Tupolev and Ilyushin planes look like this. I don't know why, actually. Alright, let's go ahead and rotate. Perfect. Now let's put gear up then, I guess. The gear design is very interesting in this plane, definitely. Oh god, this is already dying. I don't know what it's doing. You know, it's kind of unfair to call this plane the most dangerous plane, since obviously it's used in military, and there's like a higher chance of it crashing. That might be true, but as far as I know, most of these lists only contain crashes that were caused by this aircraft being not good. And also, this plane was used for cargo purposes as well, and we have died. That is quite sad. So yeah, this plane was also used for civil purposes, and we have actually gone too fast, which is why this plane is really dead. Ouch. Now that might have not worked out. So yeah, this is the cockpit. This is now this is maybe one of the most complicated aircraft I have ever seen, at least on first glance. We have a lot of switches here and a lot of stuff here, and I don't know what any of these switches are since everything is in Russian, which is quite a common thing with Russian airliners in general. We only have manual gauges in here. No screens, I guess, which is weird. Okay, I mean, this plane is kind of old. This is really complicated, and every single switch actually works. That is kind of worrying, isn't it? I don't feel quite comfortable. This plane is actually working, so that's good. Okay, this is the cargo area. Yeah, this is not a small plane, I would say. This is quite nice. And obviously, another thing that is very special about this plane is this weird front area. As you can see right here, we're entering that one right now, and our FPS are weirdly dead. Now, I genuinely don't know what they used to be doing down there. I mean, I guess the crew member sitting here was controlling a gun or something. I don't know. Or maybe a navigator sat down here, as I see many navigating, you know, instruments. We even have an iPad here, which is quite weird. And what the hell is that? Yeah, this is quite a weird add-on plane. And I don't know why, but it's kind of weird that this autopilot instrument is actually fully working. Yeah, but this is kind of cool. I can imagine very well how nice it is sitting down here, you know, watching a landing or something. But also it could be terrifying, especially if the nose gear fails or something. That would be cool. Now maybe let's talk a bit about numbers here. This plane has a safety rating of 1 crash per 549,000 flights. flying hours. Now, the 737 MAX has around a crash rating of 500,000 hours. That is 50,000 hours less, which in this case is worse than the Ilyushin Il-76, but obviously that's still not a good rating. But obviously this Ilyushin plane is not safe. Yeah, this is representing a normal Ilyushin Il-76 flight. It's very weird to have a plane with only 2 digits of numbers. Oh, we're absolutely dead. Yeah, overall, I do think this is quite, you know, an interesting plane, I guess. It's definitely a piece of history, and this nose gear is not working properly. I don't think the nose gear moves that fast in real life. And also, this plane needs quite a long runway, which is maybe not very practical. Actually, there is a quite popular video of this plane almost overrunning the runway in Australia, I think. And you know, that's kind of a typical Russian plane thing, you know. We pay whole runway, we use whole runway. That was not a Russian accent. That was actually no accent at all. Oh, I've opened the door. That's not good. Let's not do that. No, yes, this plane is very tough, I would say. So let's go to St. Bartholomew. It's not a good idea, but let's do it still. Now maybe let's talk about how environmentally friendly this plane is. It's very much not. You know, let's use the whole island. Honestly, why don't you just expand the runway and use this grass area as well? Like, really, wouldn't that make this airport so much safer? I mean, not for people standing there, because you'll see in a minute. All right, let's take off. There we go. Let's see how this plane performs. This is not too big of an aircraft. I mean, I think this has around the size of 737. Oh, that actually worked quite well. And I still really like the gear design of this. And those are thick tires, right? I'm pretty sure this thing can do a proper water landing, right? So let's ditch this a bit. You know, other than having the worst safety record on Earth, I kind of do like this plane. It has a nice personality. Yeah, we just struck the mountain there. That is not good. You know, Russian planes, especially the old ones, have a very good personality, even though they are pretty much all dangerous. That's actually true. I mean, even the new Russian jets are dangerous AF, like the Sukhoi Superjet, which also has a very bad safety rating. Oh, that was very almost butter. Let's try again. Oh, yes. Oh, no. Oof. Yeah, Sully would be proud if he saw this. Oh, God. And again, this thing is very tough. This thing can take off on very, very rough runways, which is thanks to those huge tires. Now, let's just go ahead and take off. All that power was from the engines, obviously. The Ilyushin Il-76 has been modernized over the years. I think this is one of the older ones or something. So yeah, guys, thank you for watching today's video, and I'll see you tomorrow. As always, good night.